Have you seen the Trump baby accounts? How about this, you guys? I mean, how about it, right? They're talking about, $1,000 for each new child born during Donald Trump's term. And guess what? He got the guy, Michael Dell, his friend, who runs Dell Computer, to pay for it. Yeah, they gave like $6.5 billion. Here's Michael Dell and his wife with these generous gifts. And I know like people are saying things, well, let's watch them and appreciate them for what they're giving back to society right now. The Trump baby boom.
Absolutely. It's a very special moment. We're making a $6.25 billion investment in America's kids through our charitable funds.
Next year, every American child will be able to get an investment account powered by Invest America.
We've seen what happens when a child gets even a small financial head start. Their world expands.
The real power of these accounts is that anyone can contribute. Parents, relatives, friends, everyone can help shape a child's future.
To philanthropists.
So it's good, right? I mean, what a great thing. You put $1,000 away for a kid and, by the time they're 65 and Social Security might be gone, hey, maybe they got something there. Anyway, it's a wonderful start, and it pairs with, for example, what we're seeing in terms of the tariffs, right? He wants the $2,000 rebates. They're getting very serious.
Actually, a responsible thing to do?
Well, there are a lot of options here. The president's talking about a $2,000 rebate, and that would be for families making less than, say, $100,000.
Have you decided on that yet?
We haven't. It's in discussion. But the other thing to think about, Brian, is that what we did with the tax bill is actually financing the president's no tax and tips over time. Social Security and the big refunds you're going to see are a result of that. So that's another payment to the American people. And then the other thing you're going to see in the middle of the year are these Trump accounts. Every child born retroactively to January 1, but for the next 3 years, is going to get a $1,000 account that's going to be invested in the U.S. stock market. So that's another $1,000 for working families.
So it's so good. It really is. And you know what? That money's going to accumulate and grow. And, if you look at the S&P over the last, 10, 20 years, you're looking at an average return of somewhere around 10%. Make sure you go to 76research.com. Use my code word dollar. You can get my financial research newsletter there. First 2 months, $1 a month. Anyway, 76research.com. Here's the president, again, talking about the need for this, that he wants to pay down debt, but simultaneously, he wants to make sure that, we're doing something for the people. And he talks about affordability, but it's kind of a misnomer, because I would say that inflation has come down significantly. And I'm going to show you some charts that he put on this out in just a moment, because he was tweeting up a storm. Or what do we say? Truthing up a storm on Truth Social. And I want to show you some of these. But first, let's go back to him in this interview with Doogie Howser. He's like 12. And I can say that because I'm definitely not 12. Over at OAN, here's the original soundbite when he disclosed to this reporter that he was actually really serious about $2,000 per family for working middle class.
We also might make a distribution to the people, almost like a dividend to the people of America.
How much are you thinking for that, sir?
Well, we're thinking maybe $1,000 to $2,000. Be great.
Inflation is completely stable.
Yep.
It's around target rate, and the country is ultimately taking in unprecedented amounts of tariff revenue, more than $200 billion at this point in time, sir. What do you believe this extra source of revenue can be put towards, and how big of a game changer is it for your administration?
Well, ultimately, because we're talking about just kicking in. They're just starting to kick in. But ultimately, your tariffs are going to be over $1 trillion a year, in my opinion. We're going to do something. We're looking at something where, number one, we're paying down debt because people have allowed the debt to go crazy. But, with growth, with the kind of growth we have now, the debt is very little, relatively speaking. You grow yourself out of that debt. It's not a question of paying it. You grow yourself out. And the numbers are so much bigger than they ever were. The numbers we have now are bigger than they ever were. So when you have $36 trillion in debt a year ago or 2 years ago, and you have a lot less revenue coming in, then you have 37 or 38 It's not 38 yet, but it will be. And the numbers are so much bigger. All of a sudden, 38, you're under-levered, whereas for 36, you were highly levered. We're not highly levered anymore. Now, with that being said, we'll pay back debt, but we all...
I know we want to pay back the debt, but he's really interested in doing something to kind of gin things up, and he's sitting there waiting for the Fed, and the Fed's not coming along. By the way, CC Irwin, thank you for your generosity. Thank you to everyone just for being here, just commenting and liking. Believe me, it helps a lot because the algorithm's tricky, and sometimes they try and shadow us and this, that, and the other. Or maybe they don't. Maybe it's just you guys aren't that interested on a particular day. So when you like it like that, or you make a comment, it really helps. Thank you for that. But the president is very serious about trying to do something to really help the people in this country. And I want to show you what he was putting out. I actually made a little recording of this. So he had a bunch of stuff that he wanted to make clear. You see this? Okay, so I love this. So, by the way, Joe Biden wouldn't even understand these charts, but look at this consumer spending. Okay, this first one. This is from the Census Bureau and from Hoover, real consumer discretionary spending. This is important because what you see is we're outpacing inflation. And that's a big, big deal. It's going up, and that's really, really, really good news. So consumer spending, which is like 2/3 of the overall economy, this is important to see. You want that moving higher. And then he wasn't done. He had a few of these things. So you had consumer spending, and then you have manufacturing, renaissance underway. Okay, the American manufacturing boom, bringing America back. Oh my gosh, look at those charts, right? I mean, you see we were down negative 1.4, we were down 0.7%. I mean, wow, you go back to 23, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, and you don't have a lot of optimism there. The only time you saw anything of growth was Q2 24, and that was 1.4% growth, but it was either anemic or it was in negative territory, and boom, presto, 2025, Q1, you can feel it, right? You can feel it in the air. Things are better. There's more optimism. People are excited. And what do you know? 3.5% growth in manufacturing and 2.4% in the second quarter. This is what I'm talking about. You need the right policies. Capital spending is skyrocketing, of course, because you actually have a capitalist there who's going to reward capital spending. Right? Like that's important. So capital spending is skyrocketing 3.4%. To look at that 8.4%. That's 2025 annualized. Those are good numbers, guys. Okay, those are good numbers. And so it shows you that if you have somebody with the right economic policies in the White House, you're going to have opportunity. You're going to have growth. You're going to have good stuff ahead, which is why if you want to go to my free account, investinmaga.com, that's the free version of the newsletter, so you don't have to pay $1 a month. Let me see if I can go back here because there's something else I want to show you. Real wages are recovering after a massive hit from Biden's inflation. I mean, Biden was taking us all the way up to plus 9% on inflation, for goodness sakes. And those things are tough because you can't actually have a deflationary environment. You don't want inflation like down negative 9% because then who the heck is going to buy anything? You just wait forever because it's going on sale next month. They have this problem all the time in Latin America, right? With really, really rocky economies, and they suffer from deflation and they suffer from inflation as well. We don't want that. We want kind of a steady progress. And that's why the Fed shoots for between 2 and 3% inflation. That's what we have right now. It is tame. So that does open room for us to, what do you know, cut interest rates. Boy, would Trump love that. But real wages recovering after a massive hit from Biden's inflation. I love seeing that. Real wages adjusted for inflation. This is a big deal. You know that Donald Trump actually grew real wages the most since any president going all the way back to the 1950s when he was in office until, of course, they shut everything down with March 2020. I still have like PTSD from that time. I call it March 2020. You know what I'm referring to? Yeah, you weren't even like allowed to say COVID on the air.